Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm taking a look at the die-cast Star Wars Star Wars Rogue One even, k2so action figure, which I have to say I absolutely adore. I mean, it looks amazing, absolutely phenomenal really. You know, in comparison to the Kylo Ren Unmasked one, I did like that one, but this one just makes more sense to be made out of diecast as well, logically, because it is sort of a metal sort of character, and so it makes sense. You'd think that he'd weigh a ton, and that accessory wise, all the diecast figures really come with, to my knowledge anyway. I don't know if any of them do come with accessories, but to my knowledge, they all just come with this Star Wars base plate and little stub there that allows you to put their feet there, of course, and then it's got legal girth, nicely detailed and printed and all that malarkey. But yeah, I just adore this figure a lot. I mean, it is just immense. And I got this yesterday for my birthday, from my amazing mum, so thank you to her. And that, you know, it just, detail wise, it just looks sensational, from just the feet to the hands, you know, and then like the bolts and that, and even the Imperial logo on the, and then just the face as well, you know. It's like, it's got the details of, it's got so many different details. It's simplistic in design, but it's very detailed. I mean, it looks like k2so from the episode. A little bit of legal guff, a little bit of an antennae, and then, you know, just absolutely adore this. You know, and again, it's full on diecast, so it weighs a ton. It feels like it weighs a load. You know, main sort of chest piece, and then this risen bit, and some more bits and pieces there. Some more here, like the lower stomach, and then at the sides of like his shoulders and top bit of his legs, there's like these orange bands as well, which, from what I recall, I don't recall seeing them in the film, but I'm assuming they're accurate. You know, you've got all sorts of detail and just, you know, just amazing line work and fine details that your you know, your proper mega Star Wars buff / fanboy will really like. So if you know anyone who's any bit into Star Wars, you know, because I'm not even the biggest fan of Star Wars myself, but I've been getting into it more and more recently, and yeah, I just adore this k2so, you know, diecast figure. I mean, I adore his character, to be honest, but articulation-wise, he's very articulated. I mean, the head can sort of go from the back bit to the front, and then do a full 360 degree turn. It can, you know, it's on a ball joint, so it can look sort of up, and then also kind of look down, and that, like, look like it's sort of upset sort of thing. The arms can go out at the sides a bit, and then there's shoulder, elbows, and the arms the hands even, sorry, are sculpted in a way where I think they're just one solid plastic piece. And that you can't, like, turn them, to my knowledge, like left or right. And if you were to do that, then I think you'd break them. But then you've got like foot articulation as well, which is pretty weird, and that, but makes it a bit more posable and, you know, dynamic and that. And then there's the knees, the bend at the knees, and again you can sort of push the legs out, push them more inwards, you know. He's very articulated. Even the sort of chest piece you can push forward or back, and that, so it's extremely sort sort of articulated and movable, so you can get him in lots of different poses and that. I'm just gonna do that so he kind of looks like he's stood upright and that. But yeah, it's extremely difficult to get him to stand up with only one hand, but free right about now. But yeah, and then height-wise, he's a very tall action figure, as this is the Rose Tyler action figure, and she just is a little bit above his crotch piece and just up to his lower sort of chest, really, or the low end of his chest, the bottom bit of his chest, which, yeah, just gives you an idea of how tall this figure is, really. Size-wise, he's a big robot, big k2so, and again, I adore this one, really, more so than the Kylo Ren one, because again, it's just more articulated, more, just feels right, you know, it feels more right to have it as a die-cast, again, because it's a sort of metal character, or a character that's made out of like a metal type of sort of design and that, and so you expect him to weigh loads, whereas with people they're more sort of fleshy and that, and I don't know, it's just weird, but yeah. And again, I love how posable he is and how yeah, dynamic his joints are even. But yeah, just lay him down for now. But so out of 10, what would I give him? I'd actually give him a well-earned 9 out of 10. I think the only thing that lets it down for me is the fact that the hands aren't as articulated as the rest of his body. But then again, I guess the only thing you could really do there is maybe make them be able to go left and right, because the fingers are so small and that you just wouldn't be able to get like the joints, the ball joints there, unless you made the fingers really big, but then they'd look really disproportionate to the rest of his arm. And again, the rest of his body is fairly really well detailed and really well articulated. So I'm just giving him a 9 out of 10. That doesn't mean that I don't like him any less. I mean, detail-wise is phenomenal, and for the most part, the articulation is pretty flawless too. So yeah, would I recommend this k2so diecast action figure to people? I would definitely definitely recommend it to people who are fans of Rogue One and or Star Wars. Thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.